Okay, guys, so this is going to be the next assignment for the next few days in this class. Actually, the next few weeks in this class. I do have about 3 weeks worth of work in this assignment. There's going to be quite a few videos that you guys can follow, or if you don't want to follow any of the videos, you are more than welcome to look at the drawings and do them on your own. Um, the main focus of this class is to become proficient at using the computer software. So that's what we're going to be focusing on more and more. Yes, I am doing projects, but the projects are just for fun, just to try and get you to do things other than working with the program. But I do need to start focusing more on working with the program and getting you guys prepared for certification exams. So let's go ahead and look at this first assignment. This one, 664, the roller lever. Oops. This one is kind of easy. Let me zoom in so that way we can see it a little bit more clear. Let's look at it. It is in the metric system. Its overall height is 57 millimeters. Its overall depth, or I'm sorry, width left to right is 81, and its overall depth from front to back is 43. Looking at it, it has two major holes, one going through the back and one going all the way through here. And it does also have this big cutout here. It does have some fillets, a fillet here, a rounded edge here. It has some angles, some chamfers, another rounded edge, or we can consider this a fillet, an angle, and some chamfers. So if we're looking at it, it is relatively easy, but if we break it down, it's easy, but looking at it, it could be considered a little bit difficult, but that's why we broke it down, so that way it's not as intimidating. So it is in the metric system, so I started a standard IPT, or standard MM IPT. I'm going to put a sketch on the XY plane, okay? And I'm going to be using this as my origin. This is where I'm going to be starting everything off. So I'm going to be making a circle right here on the origin that has a diameter of 14 millimeters. Okay, so 14, I know it does say drill, it has these other things, 14 drill, 14.3, 14.29. Ream, that just means just to make it a little bit bigger, so that way a 14 millimeter diameter, something can go in here, something else can fit in there that's 14 millimeters. Okay, so everything else is just going to be based off of that. So I'm just going to draw the general shape so you guys can follow along. Okay, I know that this is at an angle this way. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to make an arc because I know that this is curved, so it's going to look something like this. Okay, another line straight out. Let me ignore that. Let me continue making this video down at an angle, back. And as you notice, guys, I am hitting certain points and they do want to connect with other things, but I am trying my very hardest to not connect to anything. I'm going to make a curve here, and then another curve here, and then a straight line like this that comes all the way back to here, and then I'm going to close it. So you should have something that looks kind of like this. And that should kind of give us a general area of somewhere where to start. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and start filling in dimensions. Sorry, I can't think of any words right now. So I'm just going to give my overall dimension of 57. Okay, and if it throws everything off like that, that's fine. Don't freak out. We can undo, and I'm just going to leave that how it is. Just going to move on. So from here to here, I know that that is 32, so I'm just going to put that in 32. And if it disconnects like that, I'm going to go to my coincident constraint, click on that endpoint and lock it. and then I can see if I can change this to 57 and it'll adjust it. I'm hitting my escape key so that way I'm not dimensioning anything, and I adjusted that as well. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and put in some dimensions. I know that this is 7. I know that this is 7 here. And I know that from the center of this to down here is 14. So that locks that. I know that this and this, that angle is going to be 45. And I know that this and this angle is also going to be 45. I also know that this to here is also 14. So that should lock everything into place. I am going to be looking at this, the length of this line here. If I follow it from that endpoint over, so from there to there, and I see that endpoint and I follow it straight down, it lines up directly above the center point. So I'm going to go right here to my vertical constraint. I'm going to click on my midpoint or my origin point, and I'm going to click on this endpoint, and that locks that into place. Then I'm going to say that that angle is 10 degrees. So this angle is 10, and that's that. Alright, so I'm just working my way across all of these dimensions, and everything should be moving into the right location. So that's 19 radius. Okay, alright. So I'm just going to grab this and move it up so that way it looks a little bit like my drawing. Okay, so let's kind of keep going. Okay, so I have that, and I'm moving, I've already completed that one, and I'm moving clockwise this direction. So I'm moving, alright, so let's give its overall from left to right. Its overall is 81 millimeters. Okay, so that means that I can pull everything back this way and move that back here and this way. And if your stuff is moving all crazy like, that's fine, guys. You guys are smart. I know you guys are smart. You guys just like to freak out and go crazy. Okay, so I'm just moving things around so that way it's easier for me to teach you guys. Okay, all right, so let's keep going. All right, so I know that from as I'm moving, I put in my 81. I am going to say that from this line here, or from this edge to this corner, from this edge to this corner is 24. So that way I lock that into place. I also know that this line and my arc are tangent, which it is. Let's see, what else? Oh, I do know that my line here is 5. And I do know that it has an angle of 45. Okay. Now this one, I did not know exactly where it landed. This angle here, I didn't know where exactly it landed earlier. So I wasn't sure like where to put it. So I just kind of left it alone for the moment. But I just kind of kept on going. Okay, so this line, so I'm going to dimension this. This is supposed to be 29, and it's going to throw it off all the way out there. And that's okay. So I'm just going to move, let me undo. Okay, so maybe let me not dimension that. Let me dimension this and say that this radius is 29. Okay, and that this radius is 5. Okay, and that from here to there, that is 19. Okay, so that might make things a little bit easier for us. And that this is supposed to be 29. There we go. So now if we use our tangent constraint, we can go ahead and lock things in. Say that this and this is tangent. Oops, that's not right. This and this is tangent. Okay, let's move this back like so. Why is this not working? Let's delete that. If it's working for you guys, I am proud of you, but for whatever reason it is not working for me, so I'm just going to click on my fillet button, click here, and it didn't work. Okay, why not? Extend, fillet, there we go. Dimension, 29, okay. There. I know it looks wrong, and it's bothering me. Why is it wrong? Okay. Well, we'll just leave it like so. I know I did it right earlier because I was looking at it. Doop 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 doop. Okay, so we're just gonna leave it like that, and I'll figure it out later. Okay, so finish your sketch once you have that. Let's go ahead and extrude it. We're gonna extrude it by a total of 43. Okay, so go ahead and do that, 43. And then once you do that, let's go ahead and make a new sketch here. And we're going to cut out a section here and a section here, like so. Alright, so I'm just going to click on my project geometry and I'm going to project this entire front face. Okay, I want to line up this line here of this rectangle with that. And I want to say that from this edge here to this edge here, it is 52. Okay, and that from here to here, dimension, from here to here is 19. Okay, so that's that, and let's go ahead and finish the sketch, and we are going to extrude this, this, and this, and this, and this, and we are cutting in 43, so we're going to type this in, 43 minus 24. Okay, and we're cutting in and say okay. So that way it looks like this. And once you have that, say yep. All right. Okay. So now let's go ahead and cut out this section here. So the easiest thing that we could have done is if this was an even number, 43, if it was an even number, we could divide it down the middle and cut and make a circle and extrude it in both directions symmetrically, but unfortunately it's not. 24 plus 12 is 36, and then we'd have a leftover, but it doesn't work. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to go right here to plane, offset from plane, or we're going to turn it around, and we're going to offset negative 12, okay, because it's 12 from the back, okay, so turn it around so we're looking at it from here. We're going to make a sketch, and we're going to make a circle that is 41 millimeters in radius, so that would mean that is 82 in diameter. Okay, so I'm going to right click and go to slice graphics. Okay, once I right click and slice graphics, I'm going to draw a line, or I'm actually I need to project my geometry. I'm going to click on that, draw a line straight down that says that is 36 millimeters, and I'm going to draw a line straight down and make this endpoint coincident with that line here. Okay, then I'm going to say that this endpoint should also be coincident with this circle. Okay, I also want to make the click on the vertical constraint and make the circle, the center point of my circle, vertically constrained with the center line, or with the edge of the part. Okay, so that way the center line is lined up with the edge of the part, the center point is lined up with the edge of the part, and this point is 36 millimeters below this end. So as you see, 36 right here, that's that end point. The center line is lined up right here with the edge of the part. All of that makes sense if you're paying attention to the drawing, and if you're not, you're at least following along with my video. Okay, so we're going to cut this out. We're going to cut, oops, not through all, cut 24, cut, change directions. Why aren't you cutting? Okay, try again. Cut. Okay. Why? As you can see, I do have like a love-hate relationship with Inventor. Like sometimes it works when I want it to, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, let me try this again. Let me delete, consumed. Okay, let me try this again. Select that and that, cut 24. There we go. Okay, so because we drew this line right here, it wanted to separate these two sections because Inventor is the inventor, and there we go. Okay, so there we go. That's exactly what we needed to happen. So I'm going to right click on that plane that we created and take away the visibility of that plane, so that way we see this. Now the last thing we need to do is put in that hole. So I'm going to make a circle. The size of this hole is 11, so 11. And then I'm locating it 24 from this edge, from the bottom edge, and 14. Okay, so once you have that, we're going to extrude through all, and we're cutting, and there you go. So let's save it. So we're going to save this as 3-2.1, 6.64, roller lever. Okay, so save. Let's put it on a sheet. So go to your ENUS template, and this is in the metric system, so go ahead and click on create. And because this does have quite a bit of dimensions, we are going to change the sheet size to a B size sheet. So do that now. And this is going to be out of place, so let's move it over. Okay, and let's move this and that, and yes, let's put a side view or a isometric, and it forgot to put hidden lines, so when it does that, double click and make sure that your hidden lines are turned on. Okay, and let's put in our center lines. This part does have center lines, so center marks everywhere on everything. Oops. And then there's a bunch of center lines that should happen here, but that's really confusing, so you don't have to do that. But center line on the top and center line here as well. Okay. Now, the dimensions are all pretty straightforward. You guys can do this all on your own, so if you do need help, please let me know, but you guys can do this all on your own. So I'm sorry that you guys that this was a little bit harder for you guys to do. I apologize. So if you guys need help, please let me know. Thank you.